All right, so there's some pretty good Twitter threads by @HighProgressive on Twitter of the General Strike Summit, which is a podcast. Now, again, I really want to start this off by telling you what I told you in December of 2020. So, internet podcasters, right, especially this new, like, left-wing kind of, like, semi-left, but also, like, olive branch to the right and far-right extremists, kind of, like, podcast space, they do these events because they get to market themselves, they get to hype up the event, it's promo material, but the most important aspect of these events, right, as, you know, the quote-unquote events, the most important aspect of them is the past tense, right? So later on, they get to say, oh, remember when we did the Force the Vote town hall? They always come up with these names, by the way. Like, yeah, what was the Force the Vote town hall? It was a podcast with Jimmy Dore and Brianna Joy Gray. But they call it the Force the Vote town hall. It was a town hall. Did they accept audience questions? No. Unless, you know, you paid them money. Which, that's weird. A town hall, normally. No, it's COVID. Okay, so let's do an online town hall. That would mean you have questions. You have people come in and ask questions. That's not what they did at the Force the Vote. But they called it the Force the Vote town hall, folks. It was a town hall. And that's the same thing. And then, ever since then, they've been talking about it as if it was this great event that AOC boycotted or something. Oh, when we did the Force the Vote town hall, and they did, you know, all that kind of shit, right? So again, this is all just fluff for them. So I need you to understand, the General Strike Summit. A summit. The General Strike Summit. You know they're going to be talking about this for months and months and months. So let's go back a little bit. Because there was some really good drama with this General Strike Summit. The General Strike Summit wasn't originally supposed to happen. In fact, this guy right here at the bottom being covered up by this chat, he actually got banned from this podcast network for suggesting the General Strike Summit. Do we remember this? I made a video about it a couple months ago. He got banned, and the backlash was so severe that they brought him back and then started organizing with him. So, you know, that's, at least they admit to a mistake, right? But that's a really good origin story. But anyway, so High Progressive on Twitter has got a very good selection of clips here that are just like full on batshit insane. But I want to watch this one first because they're spending a lot of this podcast, this summit, talking about Hasan Piker. So let's watch.
More clout than they've ever gotten. But like, it's such a sad, if you're like a fan of any of these motherfuckers and you sat through one of these things, okay? You sat through one of these things and all they did was talk about crypto, talk about how much of a fucking class enemy I am, talk about Rachel Maddow, instead of literally talking about like labor organizing and having labor organizers and union leaders on their fucking broadcast.
So again, they've been planning this broadcast for 2 months. 2 months! You would think, especially given what's happened in Striketober, as we've been calling it, you would think that this would be less of just a podcast and more of, you know, a General Strike Summit.
Where they're supposed to be talking about like launching something that could literally put you in jail. Okay? People in the past who have tried to execute general strikes have gone to jail. Okay? The bourgeois, capitalist American government will not allow you to organize something like that. They will literally kill you. They will throw you in fucking jail. They will do everything they can to stop you. That's how you know they have no, like, this is nothing. This is not even anything.
So, okay, so Hasan Piker is getting very upset at the General Strike Summit because, you know, apparently they keep talking about it. So I will say, just because, right, that the FBI doesn't have you on a list and they're currently, like, going to your house to kill you, doesn't mean you're not doing anything helpful. Okay, I want to be very clear on that. But, so I do think that criticism is a little bit of an overcorrection. That being said, imagine you're working on a general strike. That's a multi-year, probably multi-decade long project. You're going to have to take a lot of life commitment to get a general strike to happen, right? But the ways that you do that are not by attacking some of the most popular left-wing people online. That's just not how you do it, right? In order to create a general strike, you need to have a mass, broad coalition of people that may not agree with you, right? So when you come out the gate harassing and attacking literally everyone else on the planet, let's watch.
And that's not a mistake, because the people who pay enemies of the working class like Hasan, like
the people who pay. What people? Now that's my question, right? Because now, you might not know this, right? But Hasan Piker and the Young Turks are actually mostly funded by viewers. Now, sometimes, and it's possible in this world, you know, I've got experience, people get private donations, right? That kind of stuff. But most funding is from subscribers, paid memberships, merchandise, etc., right? So, and most people watching these programs are working class, are poor, are people that are left-wing. So when you say the people paying Hasan Piker, the Young Turks, really, to me, that just sounds like a George Soros-style conspiracy theory. But again, let's listen.
Class like Hasan, like the Young Turks, the people who pay them, because they are paid assassins of a working class movement.
So, like, okay. So, I don't know who this guy is. I've never heard of him before. But look about, like, Nick the Prick over here is, like, so giddy and happy that he's got, like, a viral moment. And then everyone else is just, like, so excited. I don't know what I did. I just clicked on a button. Okay. Everyone else is so excited. Oh, my God. George Soros is paying Hasan Piker. Thank you for saying it out loud. Right? I don't understand. What are they like, are the millions of people that subscribe to the Young Turks and Hasan Piker, are they enemies of the working class? Are they all FBI undercover agents that are sent to assassinate the working class? Like, I ask you this. I sincerely ask you. Imagine trying to have a conversation in a bar about this. Hasan Piker is being paid by enemies of the working class to assassinate. Like, imagine, right? Going to a picket line and saying, hey, did you know the Young Turks is paid to assassinate? Like, imagine, right, going to, like, a labor meeting or a union meeting and then raising your hand up, right, and going, did you know that Hasan Piker is being paid? Like, these people are terminally online. Like, they are stuck in the world of the internet. 99.9% of people that are working class do not give a fuck about any of this. I'm just letting you all know.
They are paid assassins of a working class movement. And the people who pay them do not want us to come together. And that's not a mistake, because the people who pay.
So, okay, the end part is they don't want us to come together. What does that mean? Like, I sincerely don't know what that means. Like, this guy, like, it's bizarre. But, okay, so now, again, according to reports, Hasan Piker has been doing a lot of fundraising for strike funds, given all of these strikes going on in October and November, right? So, now, again, he's got a big platform. He can leverage that platform to raise money to help striking workers so that they don't have to worry about feeding their families, so that they have food on the picket line, that kind of stuff. And that's good. But he also has a big platform, right? So if I were to do a strike fundraiser, and let's say I only got like $748, right? That's decent compared to the size of my platform, right? So I'm not saying that the dollar amount here is really the most important aspect, that, oh, if you can't raise $201,000, then you might as well. That's not what I'm saying here. But at least Hasan Piker is doing something. Like, I'm just saying, I'm just throwing that out there. But,
you know, on the outside, these people that you first come in contact with, the Sam Cedars, the Hasan Pikers, the TYTs, the Kyle Kalinskis, the people that you first come in contact with before you start to dig a little bit, you realize that all that solidarity messaging that they be preaching is not followed up by action. And
So again, I don't know what this means. Like, I'm going to be honest, I have had one conversation with this Afeni person on Twitter. It was very stress-inducing and annoying. So I maybe, again, it's very possible that clouds my judgment here. but I really honestly have no fucking idea what the hell they're talking about, right? When you go online and you watch left-wing podcasters, guess what? 99% of them are left-wing podcasters. Now, I, for example, am, a lot of people tell me this, many people are saying, right, that I'm one of the only people, and I will grant that some of these people have done in real life action, and that's great, and that should be encouraged, right? Hasan Piker raising $200,000 for a strike fund, that is real life action. That is action that exists, right? But again, that's like judging a movie star for just being a movie star. Or that's like going to like Wendy's and then saying, hey, why are you only working at Wendy's? Shouldn't you be doing other things? Like, again, these people, their job is to do podcasts, right? Now, if they have time for extracurricular activities, right, that's great. Like, for example, I like to do protesting. I like to highlight that kind of stuff in my off time when I'm not doing my show. That's great. But again, also, I just want to say the critique doesn't make any sense, right? Like, maybe you can call me a fangirl. It's possible. It's very possible. But I've watched The Majority Report for several years. And literally every single day, they've got guests on their show that are labor organizers, union organizers, writers, striking workers. They literally, that's one half of their show. Like, if you've spent any time watching The Majority Report, you would know that literally one half of their show is dedicated toward actually having real people on to, provide links to places where people can support and follow certain strike actions. So I'm just saying, not only is the critique on itself just silly, but it's also just wrong.
I learned so much from these people, so much that I became an activist and an organizer myself. And then I come into this space as a Black woman, as a Black queer woman, and I realize, oh, wow, it's going to be a lot harder to organize because...
Does Unholy Rome have a, past broadcast of... I just noticed this. Is this, a different... what is this in the background here? Is that, they have two streams going on at once? What's happening?
It literally seems like you are intentionally organizing against us. It seems like...
So, again, in Afeni's fantasy world, right, Sam Cedar, Hasan Piker, and the Young Turks are actually... secretly FBI agents, and they're all trying to work against labor organizing, and by doing that, they raise hundreds of thousands of dollars for strike funds. They have labor and union organizers on the show all the time to talk about where you can support and how you can support those strikes and all that stuff. That's secretly, they're actually paid by the FBI. What? It's one thing you can say, Sam Cedar has a big platform, he should do more. I can say that too. I agree. If I had 1 million subscribers, bitch, let me tell you, and I'm not calling anyone a bitch, I'm just saying bitch generally. If I had 1 million YouTube subscribers, I'm telling you right now, right? I would not just be doing a podcast every day. I'm just saying, not every day, right? Because Sam Cedar only does it 4 days a week, right? That's literally the last thing I would do if I had 1 million subscribers. I would be doing so much more. So again, you can ask and demand and want people that are very, very high profile, maybe like Brianna Joy Gray, maybe she's on the same stream as you, but you can want them to do more with their platform, and that's good. You can strive for that, right? I also agree with that. But to say because they're not doing more with their platform that they're secretly working against you is just bizarre. It's bizarre. It's bizarre. It's strange. It's actually very strange.
It literally seems like you are intentionally organizing against us. It seems like you're going out of your way, all the effort that you could be putting into supporting these social movements, all the effort that you could be putting into amplifying these things, amplifying these movements, amplifying the fact that DC has killed 9 Black men this year. You don't see any of those podcasts talking about any of that stuff.
I just want to say, again, now I talk about police brutality on my show. This is a daily occurrence on my show, at least for the last, 8 months now. I have spent literally every single one of my shows talking about police brutality, but I know she's not talking about me, right? But I will say, I do subscribe to The Majority Report. I don't subscribe to Hasan Piker. I don't care about him too much. But I will tell you, I know from The Majority Report that they do cover police brutality all the time. So, like, you can say that they should cover it more, yeah, but to say that they, like, and that's the thing that's bizarre about this, is they're claiming, they're making such bizarre, fantastical claims that really make no sense at all. You can want them to do more, but then when they don't do more, you, that's not, you don't say, you're an enemy of the working class, you're being paid by the FBI, George Soros, this guy. It's, again, this is not, you're not doing anything here, Afeni. Like, anything that you do offline is going to be 5,000% more effective than this, what you're doing right now, because this is a waste of fucking time. I'm telling you right now, this is the exact thing you are complaining about.
And before we didn't really see it, but we really don't see it now. And it's so frustrating because it's like, well, why are you cosplaying? And then shitting on us for calling you out. I'm an abolitionist. I believe in accountability. If I'm calling you out and I'm holding you accountable and I'm coming to you and I'm saying, hey, like, that shit's not right, it's because I believe in good faith at that point in time that I'm coming to somebody that believes the same things that I do, and we're holding each other accountable because at the end of the day, we're trying to get to the same place.
So this is another, like, very bizarre dog whistle. Is holding people accountable. This is, like, right up there with, like, election integrity as far as, like, dog whistles are concerned. Yeah, I'm holding people accountable. What? So, like, harassing people online? That's holding them accountable. Saying that someone is being paid by the FBI and the CIA to have 1 million YouTube subscribers and only talk about striking workers 4 times a week and not 6 times a week, that's actually, me attacking you for that is holding you accountable. Right? I don't understand that. And again, I've had one interaction with Afeni, and she was also holding me accountable because I blocked everyone in the Fred Hampton leftist group on Twitter because they're all annoying and they're cringe, right? And so she got mad that I blocked her, and then she was spewing all this fucking stupid garbage about me. And then after I unblocked her and said, let's have a conversation about this, she said, no, I'm just holding you accountable. So, okay, you're yelling at me for blocking you preemptively because I knew you would be cringe. My previous prediction was correct. You were cringe. And then when I said, I apologize. Do you want to have a conversation about this? It's no, I was just holding you accountable. What? Again, that's just personal beef for me. But again, it's just bizarre. But again, there's more. There's so much more. And that's the thing. I don't know if I'm going to go so far into depth here, but like, again, there's just so much more. And it's just incredible. Let's keep going.
Josh Davis brought up something. How about the workers that will get fired as a result of striking?
So this is another thing. This podcast network, right, literally advocates for their viewers, right? I've seen, like, Compton J, for example. I've seen them say this. I've seen Socialist MMA say this, right? So I don't know about all of them. I'm not going to paint them all with the same brush. Some people might be trying to act in good faith here. But I've seen some people say, oh, if you lose your job, just get another one later. Now, again, that sounds good on paper. That's easier said than done, right? So someone asks a question, how about the workers that will get fired as a result of strike? I will also say this. Requesting paid, like, sick leave on a day is not striking. Saying, hey, I'm letting you know 4 days ahead of time that I'm not going to be here on Wednesday so that you can find a replacement. Yeah, I'm going on strike. It's just going to be 1 day. Oh, you're going to have my replacement lined up? All right, great. All right, I'll see you on Thursday. That's not a strike. But let's just watch.
So that's why I tell people everybody may not be able to strike, right? But there's other ways. But you can boycott. You can boycott consumerism. You can choose not to buy products from Amazon anymore, or at least for like a year. You can choose not to buy things from Walmart. Those are other ways you can get back. Black Friday. Keep your money in your pocket on Black Friday. It's one of the biggest consumer days in the world.
So I want to say this. I do agree with this entirely. I think people as a whole should absolutely disengage from consumerism. 1,000%. Now, I say this, look at my bedroom, look at all the stupid shit I've got, right? No, so just keep that in mind. But again, I think consumerism as a mindset is highly dangerous, right? Buying food you don't need. Hey, I'm going to be honest. I'm letting y'all know. I went to the grocery store yesterday to pick up my prescription, and while I was there, I bought some candy. Why did I buy candy? Whatever, I was kind of drunk when I went there, so I was like, fuck it, why not? Let's live a little, right? But that was like the first time I bought candy in a while, right? But my point is, right, people engage in buying shit they don't need. So not only are they wasting their money, and they are spending their money that they could be spending on other things on nothing, but that nothing, that money is being sent to a corporation that probably sources its candy making from slavery, child slavery, like chocolate, for example, right? So I'm just saying, like, yes, we can all participate in consumerism every once in a while, but as a general rule, we should stop and try to limit our consumerism. We should stop buying things we don't need. We should stop reading circulars and advertising. Black Friday deals are really just a way to distract you so that you go like, oh, this thing that I had never thought I need, but it's like 80% off, let me buy it, right? Yeah, I do agree with that message, but that's not going to create a general strike. So,
but he said, do we have a safety net for them? We are the safety net. You are the safety net. We fall on each other in bad times all the time. We ask our neighbors for sugar.
So I just want to say, Unholy Rome is very obviously drunk in this, but I have no problem with that. Now, again, I saw him sipping in this clip up here, so I'm just saying, and he definitely he's definitely drunk. But now, again, I get drunk on stream all the time, so I'm not, I got really fucking wasted in my debate with Jackson Hinkle, right? So whatever. I'm not necessarily saying that being drunk is on stream is a bad thing. I actually, personally, I think it's pretty cool. That being said, right, is the Fred Hampton Leftist Network coming out and saying that if you lose your job, that we're like the podcast or the General Strike Summit are going to help supplement your income? Because if so, that's an incredible announcement, right? That's an incredible announcement. The General Strike Summit will actually use its donations and its fundraising to pay people that lose their jobs. Is that true? If anyone in the audience watching me right now has lost their job for any reason, I hit up the General Strike Summit. They got your back.
For coffee, for ketchup. Why can't we ask for other help? Why can't we help them? Why can't we, come on now. We always been each other's safety nets. Where was the safety nets when we really needed them? When people who can actually give it to them neglected them.
What?
We have been surviving.
What?
By our fucking fingertips on scraps for generations now. We have been our safety net.
What?
So whatever, look, money is whatever. We can trade money or whatever it is, but we can get back to some teaching each other how to grow their own food.
Okay, so now again, I do agree with the community garden. I do agree with that. Now, again, I just want to be very clear. Unholy Rome, very obviously inebriated at this point. Now, that's not necessarily a problem, but I'm just saying if you can't figure out what the fuck he's saying, that's probably the reason. But what he's saying is if you lose your job, the royal we, as in the human race, will help feed your children. Not we as in the Fred Hampton Leftist Podcast Network. Not we as in the General Strike Summit. But we as in literally anyone else. Literally anyone else will do that. Right? So, but it's not me though. It's not me. But instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to say you should grow vegetables. Now, I agree with that. I agree with that. People should grow their own food as much as they can. Vegetables, not too hard. You can grow certain kinds of mushrooms very easily that are very, very high edibility and health, right? I'm just saying, right? There's a lot of things that you can do in your spare time that don't take that much effort that can make it so that you need one less grocery store trip, or your grocery trips are like maybe 2 days less frequent or something. There's all kinds of things you can do, absolutely. But again, mentioning them in passing when someone's like, what if I lost my job from striking? Well, grow a vegetable. That's not a fix. That's like, again, if this is your 10-year plan, we're going to teach everyone to grow their own vegetables and make their own food and feed themselves, and then we're going to all quit our jobs. Okay, if that's a 10-year plan, all right. But if someone loses their job because of your stupid strike idea, and then they can't pay for food, or how are they going to buy seeds? What if they don't have any land to grow on? Right? So it's just
a safety net. Maybe if you got some money, if you comfortable, you got a little money, maybe you can donate to an organization that's trying to buy up some land.
Yeah, JB said if you're good.
So if you have money, engage in personal acts of charity. Okay, that's good, but that's not going to cause a general strike.
With cars, you can fix people's cars for free as mutual aid.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's definitely going to help the workers go out there and strike.
What?
I think it also.
I know. Maybe I'm spending too much time on this, but I blame High Progressive for making so many clips. Right? This is just like, let's just keep going.
Yeah, and to the point here, nope. When someone gets fired, they will need more than just money. Here's the thing, guys: your job is not promised to you,
Right.
regardless if you strike or not. I could go to work tomorrow, well, Monday, and I could get fired for whatever reason because I live in an at-will employment state. They don't have to have a reason to let you go.
So they don't need a reason to fire you. So give them a reason. If they can fire you for no reason, they're going to be like 9 trillion times more likely to fire you for an actual reason. Right? Like, what? Right?
So that's something to keep in mind. I just want everybody to understand that. You could get fired tomorrow.
Right.
Yeah,
That doesn't respond. That doesn't in any way engage with the question. But again, folks, I would definitely recommend following High Progressive on Twitter. They're doing some really good cringe comps. Maybe I'll do more of this tomorrow. But again, I've been telling y'all for months and months and months, right? In months and months and months, I've been telling y'all that there is a group of podcasters online that take the aesthetic of activism and kind of just like turn it into like a personal fundraising machine. And that's what this is. There was the Force the Vote Town Hall. There was the People's Party Convention. They're all podcasts. The General Strike Summit. It's a podcast. It's just a regular podcast that they did marketing for. That's it. There's nothing else to it. And whenever someone asks actual tangible questions, like what happens if we strike right now and get fired, they're just like, I don't know, grow a vegetable, fix someone else's car. You just got fired, we'll fix someone else's car. And then, well, you could have been fired for anything, so it's not like you lost to... Like, I'm sorry, man, but, like, this shit is cringe. Like, it's cringe. Like, I get it. You can criticize people in power. You can hold people accountable. Those are true things that are possible. But holding someone accountable is not, like, equivalent to blatant harassment and lying about them online for months and months and months. That's not how you hold someone accountable. You might feel good harassing people on the internet for months and months and months. That might make, like, you might get a little tingly when you press click tweet or whatever. That's fine. But you're not actually holding anyone to account, right? You're not actually doing anything. At the end of the day, what matters is when people change their perspectives. That's what matters, right? So if you can somehow, if you can somehow get Sam Cedar to have more union organizers on his show or something, then you're holding them accountable. You're making positive change in the direction that you like. That's good. But saying Sam Cedar's a shill, AOC is bad, like that's not, no one's being held to account there. It's a little cringy. And again, now, if you want to go out there and mock people, just say you're mocking people. That's fine. Like, I will mock Joe Biden all the time. I love mocking Joe Biden. Fuck that motherfucker. But I'm not going to go out there and, like, put my fucking fingers up my asshole and say, oh, yes, I'm holding Joe accountable. But he's not watching my show. No one watching my show is going to, like, oh, wow, I never thought about, Joe's being held to account. Like, again, it's just like this main character syndrome. Like, you think you're doing some grand things, and in reality, no one cares. Like, you're not doing anything. No positive change is coming. All you're doing is personal catharsis. And personal catharsis can be good. I'm not saying you should abandon all forms of personal catharsis, but what I'm saying is you gotta, like, back up a little bit and re-engage with reality. Because, again, I have been doing a lot of in-person activism for the last 7-8 months now, right? I've been doing daily demonstrations. I've been talking to a lot of people. I've been doing a lot of organizing, right? I can tell you how many times on my fingers people mentioned Sam Cedar, Hasan Piker, and TYT. You want to know how many times? And in real life activism in my city, I'm going to tell you right now, one time I have ever heard anyone talk about the Young Turks Majority Report or whatever, right? One time. And it was in a discussion when I mentioned that I do a podcast. So, like, I mentioned I do a podcast, and then someone else said, oh, yeah, I watch the Young Turks. Is it like that? And I'm like, kind of, but not really, right? So, I'm telling you right now, if you talk to people in these circumstances, and you go, TYT is being funded by the FBI, and the CIA is secretly funding Hasan Piker. Like, if anyone knows what you're talking about, they're going to think you're stupid immediately because they probably just casually view them and have no idea what the hell you're talking. So, if someone knows anything about what TYT or Hasan or whatever is, they're going to think you're stupid. But guess what? 99% chance they're not going to know what the fuck you're babbling about. And so that's why this whole thing is just a terminally online feedback cycle. Is they're talking into a mirror and they're amping themselves up and they're doing nothing. It's just personal catharsis. And again, for me, this is personal catharsis. I love making fun of people online. It's one of the things that I do the most. I make fun of politicians. I make fun of regular people. I make fun of all kinds of varieties of stupid people. I make fun of people that I like when they do something stupid, in my opinion. I have no problem with making fun of someone, but I'm not going to go up there and say, when I make fun of you and spend 7 months harassing you on the internet, that I am actually the good guy and I'm holding you to account. Like, that's not... I'm not doing that. I'm making fun of someone for being stupid. Like, at least I'm just being honest with you. These people, though, I mean, again, it's fascinating. It really is fascinating. It's fucking fascinating. I think there's more. Should I do more, folks? Should I do more? All right, I'm gonna do more. I know.